What's going on, guys? Chaos here, bringing you another video, and today we've got something a little bit different from the typical day of game battles. That will be returning very, very soon. I have some game battles matches to upload to the channel, but if you guys were not aware, the DLC Map Pack 2 for Black Ops 3 has come out. I think it was about a week ago. Yeah, get that song out your head. I know some people will be like, oh, about a week ago. No! That's bad, that's wrong, you shouldn't be doing that. Yes, DLC Map Pack 2 has come out, and the Eclipse DLC is what it's called. And basically they announced 4 multiplayer maps and a zombie map. You guys have probably already seen my multiplayer map, which would have been yesterday. If you haven't already seen that, then make sure to go check it out, it'll be on my channel. But they also released 4 DLC maps, Knockout, Rift, Spire, and Verge. I'm basically going to be going over them as to what, they're good for, what they actually are, where they're situated, sort of like the stuff behind it. And then, of course, I'm going to be explaining whether it's going to be good for ARs and SMGs, whether they're good for competitive. Basically, I'm breaking down the map for myself, basically, and for the interest of you guys. So, this map is called Verge. I'm sure most of you have seen the title, it'll just be Verge. It's a remake from Banzai. It's from the World at War, in case none of you were aware. I believe it's made so it's like 2 tribes are fighting over water, I think it is. I'm not too 100% sure of that. I'm pretty sure it is just fighting over like the last source of water. I don't really know, but I don't know what they are thinking about this map. But hey, it's not that bad of a map. I'm not too keen on it. It's very good for SMGs. Obviously, you're seeing me play around this bridge area. It's very close quarters. There's not many places for an AR to really set up. You can probably set up over this left side of the water. There's not really that much bit. On the other side of the map, there's a big rocky area. Again, SMGs really dominate that sort of side, and the ARs sort of come out and sort of do better there. Sort of around the middle area, because of course there's a huge drop and there's obviously a stream of water, and then you have 2 paths on each side, and it's basically just a fight for mid control. Unfortunately though, mid control really means nothing, because if you can get this bridge control, you can basically dictate how the game is going to be played. There's really not much chance for any sort of dominance for your other team, because they're always having to fight for this bridge control. If you have it really set, then basically, like you're seeing what I'm doing, I'm just sort of dropping down, then going back up to the bridge, and there's going to be someone else there, and I'm able to just knock them off, and that's basically it. I was able to dictate the way the game was going to be played, and I had to force them to rush to get the kills. So overall, the SMGs really do sort of propel as the better weapon here. I feel the AR is not too sort of makes a good impact. You could probably use an AR depending on whether you how you position yourself. You have to be very good at positioning yourself, because of course the SMGs are just going to be basically rushing you, and if you're not quick enough and you're not positioned well enough, they're just going to outslay. But obviously, talking competitive wise, it's obviously going to be a little bit different, because of course you have your main game modes, your hardpoint, uplink, CTF, and of course S&D. I've played all of them except S&D. I don't feel why. I think it's just respawn games on the DLC. So you got a little bonus. You get Eclipse. I don't think S&D is actually included in that. But I've played Uplink and Hardpoint. I haven't played CTF either. I played it on a custom game, but overall, I think this would be a good Hardpoint map. I think Uplink it's not very that great, to be honest. Like I said, that bridge control really means a lot to the map, and if you can get that bridge control, it's kind of an easy win, basically. Obviously, Hardpoint, it's very sub-dominant, so if you're an AR kind of team, you're really going to struggle on this Verge map pack, and I really don't think this will become a competitive map just because of that fact. ARs are really not dominant. As you can see, I'm going over to this rocky kind of side here, and you can see there's not really that much places for an AR to really set up and get a lot of kills. Obviously, you could just take the different kind of approach. Instead of using the Shiva or the M8, you could perhaps put a Man of War or an HVK and play a little more aggressive, but I think you'd be forced to do that just because of the nature of the map. And overall, I think the subs would just even dominate you either way, so I honestly don't think this would become a competitive match just for that fact. But I quite like it, because of course I am a sub player, so I really do work well on this map. You'll see me a lot of times just rushing really aggressively. That seems to be the whole way people play on this map, is you just sort of run in. There's not going to be much corners for you to check, because there really is not that many corners. But even apart from this little back area, there's really not that many corners to check. But as a competitive map, I don't think it would be very good. Obviously, with all the sub players, you know, it just becomes 4 sub versus 4 sub. And to be honest, that's not really good teamwork because, of course, you can just flood the hill with 1 or 2 people. You don't really need to have a 4-man push. It's kind of easy to break the hills. But of course, that's obviously that's public matches. Thinking of that, if I played it competitively, perhaps it may dictate a little bit different. Perhaps you need to play a little more tactical, a little more less aggressive, as you might say. But obviously, to dwell on the final thoughts, I overall think as a public match map, I think it's a very good map. For competitive wise, it's really not that good. I mean, for respawn game modes, I'm obviously playing the S&D. Perhaps they play well in the S&D, but if you guys do not know, in Advanced Warfare, of course, they started introducing DLC maps as part of the rotation, and the very first one was Drift. Drift was a pretty good map. I quite enjoyed Drift. I didn't play it too often, but it was still a very good map. And overall, I think this Verge would not dwell well in the competitive scene. That's basically it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to press the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel because it really does help me out. Obviously, I'll have the other map packs, 2 maps even, to be uploaded very, very soon. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. And yeah, that's everything from me. My name is Mr. Kim12, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.
There's no escaping death.